we can see her on screen until we officially start. Okay.
Okay, good to go.
Excellent. Thank you, Kathy. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to our meeting today. We'll start at the top of the agenda with our administrative business. 2.1, the adoption of the agenda. Is there anything anybody would like to add to the agenda? And if not, we'll get a motion to accept it as is.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Gigi, and seconded by Sharon, and all in favor.
Aye.
Lovely. Moving along, 2.2, if anyone has any declarations of pecuniary interest, now is the time. Seeing none. Adoption of the minutes from previous meeting, item 2.3. So Elizabeth made the motion to accept them. Thank you. A seconder. Sharon, thank you. All in favor. Wonderful. Item 3, we don't have any presentations today. We don't have any correspondence. So that brings us right to our updates from staff, council, and working groups. So we'll go to 5.1 and allow Barb to give us her update.
Thanks, Crystal. My updates are actually within the 2 working group sessions in most cases. I've been involved with a few meetings with staff, and like I said, I'd like to just let all of the information come out through the working group, if that is okay, because I'd like each individual group to speak to what we've been working on. Anyway, thank you very much.
Sounds good. We are zooming through our agenda. So I will pass it over to Elizabeth for Public Awareness Working Group.
Our Public Awareness Working Group met, and we talked about a few things. One was marking International Day for People with Disabilities, which is December the 3rd, and Barb's going to be sending out some information to the city workers, and the theme this year is Beyond COVID, which is just talking about how we can move forward when we finally get out of COVID times. And then the other thing that we discussed was the awards for 2022. Boy, that seems like a long way away, and yet it's only a month away. And so we are going to be sending out a press release in the near future to encourage people who are out and about during the holidays and maybe have some extraordinary experiences with businesses or people to think about them for nomination, as well as trying to encourage others to put in nominations, because nominations are accepted at any time. And we had a discussion and have a number of nominations already in the pipes. So that's really good for this time of year. We don't know when the award ceremony will be held, because we don't know the final council schedule as of yet. So once we know that, then we can decide when we'll have the presentations. And at this point, we don't know if it will be virtual again or if it will be in person, although I would expect it would probably be virtual again, but who knows? We could be optimistic and say it won't be. And I think that was the gist of our meeting, but it was very positive to have people already talking about nominations or we're looking for information on how to nominate. So I think that's it, Crystal, if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Elizabeth. Does anyone have any questions for Elizabeth, our public education, public awareness group? Nope. All right. We'll move on to 5.3 public spaces. Now I know Andre is not here. Is there someone from that working group who'd like to give us an update?
Yeah, I'll give you an update.
Thank you.
The draft site plan pre-consultation piece was received and welcomed by senior management team. Barb brought that to their attention in the planning division. We're awaiting the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Planning Guideline that is in peer review for release. Ours kind of piggybacks on a lot of theirs. Once received, it will be linked to the draft that we have drawn up, as well as any comments or recommendations from planning and released as a live document to be shared with developers and planners in 2022. We had thought that we might be making a presentation to council regarding this content, but because their paper has not been finalized, we will be deferring to 2022 to bring that forward. It was suggested that one or two members may wish to speak during the presentation to council when speaking to their 2021 accomplishments and 2022 work plan. So we're going to come up with who's going to be doing that. Discussion ensued regarding public education piece to raise awareness through the development of short videos. So we thought that we might put together just a couple of things that really bring more attention to some of the special needs that people have when they're meandering through our city. And the short videos can be shared on the city website through social media platforms as part of the 2022 work plan. And the members previously suggested the purchase of Canadian Standards Association accessible design for built environment in review and update of the city design standards for facilities and public spaces. This is going to be purchased within 2021 budget and to be included as part of the 2022 work plan. Norm Price advised that he has been following and participating in the Trails Management Master Plan development. He's very interested in that. And the committee also discussed the new plans that have been circulated for the expansion of the food basics in Lindsay. I think that covered everything that we discussed in our meeting.
Thanks, Gigi. I see Andre's just joining us now, connecting to audio. With the report from Gigi, are there any questions from any of the members? Sounds like you had quite a lot to cover and a lot to talk about. Diane.
Oh, I guess I'm not muted. Can you just repeat what you said about those videos? Because I think my mind just went somewhere else, and then I came back and I realized I was quite interested in that. What are those videos?
So what we're thinking was that we wanted to make some videos, develop some short videos that can be shared on the city website and through social media platforms as part of our 2022 work plan. We thought if we capture just things that people may not be thinking about when they're out and about in the city. I remember at one point we had discussed sometimes wheelchairs get stuck in certain places. Sometimes push buttons are not thought of to be put in the right place so that you can enter a building. Just things like that where we show maybe the whys behind why we would want to put things in certain places, and how it benefits our accessible community.
So who would prepare these, and who would they specifically be for?
So we would come up with the idea, and we do have a video on staff, I believe, with the city, and they would obviously be helping us with how to put it together.
And it would be for public consumption, like on the website and stuff like that, or would it be targeted to particular people?
Both, actually. So some for, did you know? just things about where you can go, what trails maybe you can go on, stuff like that. But also for people who might not be thinking about universal design, to maybe just make it more aware that how much easier a push handle is than like a doorknob, stuff like that. Just really simple people don't think about.
Good.
Elizabeth?
Will these videos include not only talking about people in wheelchairs and walkers, but also other disabilities?
We're going to try and capture all disabilities, yes. Even just, the fact that we looked at the signs and we got an opportunity to really gauge what color, what size, what font, all that stuff, that those are really important things as well. So it's based on all accessibility issues, not just.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I really like the idea, and I think it's great to make sure the videos are accessible as possible too. So to have like open captioning or captioning embedded. I don't know if sign language would be able to be added to them, or describe video, or whatever we can do to make the videos themselves accessible as well. I think are all good steps. Barb?
Well, very much in the preliminary stages. And I would say that, yes, we would want to make the videos accessible for everyone to view. That's where people such as yourself and others can provide comment as to how we should, we know that we should be including closed captioning, but it's nice to hear what other things we should be considering as well. So definitely. And it's a work in progress. We haven't even started yet. But we do have access to a videographer, and that's through our communications department. So of course, there's an expense involved. And of course, the videos need to be very short, but get the message out there that we're wanting to get out there. You can't create a video that's 30 minutes long and expect someone to sit there and listen to it. So like I said, a work in progress, definitely part of the work plan for 2022, I would say. And I'm excited about it. And I think the other members were as well.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely exciting, and there's a lot of potential there. Andre, I know you just joined us. Gigi gave us a quick recap of your latest meeting. I guess one other thing Gigi mentioned was the expansion at Food Basics. So I was just a little curious about that. Are they like they're physically putting an addition onto the building? Is that the plan?
Building is that?
Food Basics?
Well, I don't know anything about that one, actually. I guess that's the other plan. There's two plans that came up. I've been looking at the other one.
Yeah.
And the one at Cobacon.
Jonathan just sent us one, Andre. So you might want, it is for the Food Basics in Lindsay, and I can
I'll look at it.
Explain a little bit. I think what they're doing is taking up another floor space that's right beside them. Not the Staples, but there was a clothing store. Was it a Pennington's or such? So they're expanding into that area. When I looked at the plans, I didn't see much as change as far as the parking lot was concerned, because of course Food Basics shares that with other, I think there's a little bit more involved there because there's a landlord associated with that whole mall type area. So anyway, has come forward most recently.
I believe they're putting in a drugstore in the middle of the Food Basics.
Okay, thank you. Sharon?
Was the plan just talking about the parking lot, Barb, or was it talking about the inside of the store? Because, as a person that has shopped there and, the line of work that I work in, I've often, commented to myself that there's a lot that they could do within that store to be more accessible and the space organized a little bit easier for people to maneuver around. So was there anything in the plans around the interior of the store?
they've provided them to us. Okay, we haven't gone through a full examination yet, Sharon. It's new. But you know, if you have any would you like me to share those plans with you? Because maybe you would have some specific pieces that you would like to share with us.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay. So I'll fire them your way as well. And that way we can get your comment back on it, because yes, they gave us the inside plans, which is unusual because usually we're only as far as the committee goes, we usually speak to the outside, okay, like the actual site plan itself from the exterior, and we make comments on the interior, but we don't have a lot of how do you say that? You can't exercise there's no legislation around it. It's all building code. So, you know, but Andre and the public spaces working group, though, they're very good at providing comment on the inside of the building as well as the outside, which doesn't hurt. So I'll circulate it your way as well, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Linda. Oh, you're on mute, Linda. Linda, we can't hear you. There we go.
Are you talking about actual physical structures or like displays and stuff like that?
Is that a question to Sharon?
Yeah, that's
about the layout? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of both, actually. You know, even just, you know, using the washroom in the current store, it's very difficult to access it, even though the washroom itself is set up to be accessible. Getting to it and into it is a bit of a challenge. But yeah, often the store has displays, and the way things are set up make the aisles very narrow and sometimes very difficult to maneuver. So a little bit of both, actually, Linda.
Okay, well, for stuff like that, for somebody who worked for the company for 30 years, your best bet is A, to go to the manager. And if that doesn't work, file a complaint with the district manager through head office. Like, that's not something you're going to get anywhere with on a site plan issue. Like that is definitely an intercompany issue, not a site plan issue, if you know what I mean.
There, I think Barb's back. We lost you for a second, but I think you're back now.
Mm-hmm. I apologize. I lost my internet.
You lost who?
We had lost Barb, but I think she's back now.
Okay.
I am. I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay. We were still discussing the food basics piece. So that's some helpful feedback, Linda. There might be some feedback that can go through the site plan, but there might be some that needs like physical setup of the store, displays and those sorts of things that management of the store might have more control over.
Yeah, that's a management or a head office, like displays and the washroom and that's not a site plan issue.
Okay. Was there any other? Oh, Andre?
I'd like to explain to Linda what we try to do is I always try to also mention in the letters that we have to talk to the developer, which is now Food Basics. And we have to, it's on their, we have to explain to them, they have to get involved, not just their design team. Because their design team, obviously, the developer hires a design team to do this work. But, you know, and then what they're doing is they're doing sadly, the cheapest and fastest way of doing things. So now we have to try to explain to them that sometimes, as Linda is saying, it just doesn't work. But then I don't know, I'm not too sure, Linda, how we can work on this, but they won't want us to go after the fact it's all built and say, well, you got to change this and this and this and this. They're not gonna want to convey that. I know it should, and don't worry, I understand it should. So we have to really try to impress on them and hopefully that they listen to us. And again, the sad part is there's no legislative aspect to it. The AODA is there, but somehow there's no teeth. And the building code has a long ways to go still. And that, hey, I worked in the building code in industry, and it's sad. They are far behind.
Well, with the AODA customer service, it doesn't come anywhere close to that. Like the accessibility part of it, like somewhere, like maybe, I don't, let me see if I know anybody who's still in head office and see if I can find some contacts and see if I can see who we can explain this to, and that it's cutting into their business. And if you explain that it's cutting into their bottom dollar, maybe they will clue in.
Well, this is exactly what the AODA started. Because I remember this all started in 2006 and around there. And then City of Oshawa, where I was working, I was involved in trying to help out. And it's so true. It's the bottom dollar. If you and I and a few others that are in wheelchairs or whatever, or can't see very well, if they don't understand this and make it easier, then guess what? We as the shoppers won't be able to go there, and we don't. And then they sometimes it's very simple things that they got to do, very simple. But so I say bottom dollar always counts.
Exactly. Let me see if I can find out who still works there.
Very interesting if you can find somebody.
What's that?
It'd be very interesting if you can find somebody that we can talk to, or send a letter to, or whatever.
I'll see what I can do.
Wait, thanks.
Any other comments or questions for public spaces? No. All right, we're getting dangerously close to the end of our meeting. Councillor Elmsley is not with us today, so we don't have a report for 5.4. So we'll get a motion to provide the reports under 5.1, 2, 3, and 4. Someone wants to make a motion to accept them. Andre, thank you. Seconded by Sharon, and all in favor. Thank you. It looks like I think Barb's internet connection is cutting in and out, so it looks like we've lost her again. She might be reconnecting or just keeping her camera off to save bandwidth. But we do not have anything under new or other business. I think we've got through our agenda, Barb. Our next meeting, we don't meet for December, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, so.
Diane,
Diane.
I just thought I'd share a really quick kind of good news story. You'll remember Jim Armstrong, who received the overall award last year. I'm trying to remember the name of that award. And I just found out that, I mean, he, besides all the formal work that he does in town for the Kawartha Works Co-op and for the Grove Theatre and various things that he has his hand in and works towards accessibility and inclusion and everything else. He also takes my son, he took my son golfing virtually every single Monday of the entire season this summer. And I just found out that right now he has this young man who had been living on the streets for a while, and I know him personally, and I know the family, and it was very sad when this young man who has FAS, fetal alcohol syndrome, ended up on the streets as just a very young guy. You know, he's still in high school, really age. Anyway, he's kind of resurfaced, and so of course Jim Armstrong is like right there, and he is currently driving to Peterborough twice a day to pick him up, the young man, to pick him up, take him to a farm where he might be able to have an internship and residence ongoing. But this is just kind of a trial period. So for that trial period, this young man is staying with Jim, and he is driving him to Peterborough like at 6 o'clock in the morning so he can be there at 7, and picking him up again at 2:30, and then he's staying at Jim's house for this trial period. So I just, you know, people like that are just gold in our community. And there are lots of people, because if I didn't tell you, you would never know this. Most people would never know that just a thing like this, that level of commitment happens, but it does. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you for that, Diane. And that is a good news story. And it sounds like he definitely was a very appropriate and well-deserving recipient of the Barbara MacArthur Award. Thanks for sharing that. Andre, did you have your hand up?
Just a quick little thing. I don't know if I did tell you guys, but you remember last year with this enabling accessibility fund that we were able to try to get into, and I got involved in where I'm staying here in Lindsay, the building, and I was able to get 2 awards, two grants. One for the building I'm living in, so I will be able to do all the common elements, common areas, all the doors, the 2 washrooms in the party room, what we call a party room, the social activity room. And then we also have a clubhouse, and I was able to get that. I just got the grant, just got it. So we'll be able to put, so we're trying to get that whole Rivermill village is basically going to be all accessible in the common areas. Now we can't do any of the units. There's different grants that get involved with that. So that was a good. I mean, and now I'm getting some workers. So some people from around here are also going to be working. So some jobs. So it'll be good. So we're kind of excited with that. That means I'm gonna be busier for a while. That's all I need. But anyways, it's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. And thanks for sharing that too. And it's nice to hear a couple of good news stories. It's hard to also believe, I was going to say at the end of the year, but really it is the end of the year for our meetings as a whole. So it's nice to hear a couple positive things. So our next meeting is in January. I guess we're ready to adjourn. Barb, did you have anything else for today's meeting, or we've covered everything?
No, I was just looking on my calendar to see when in January that we are meeting.
January 19th.
Thanks, Kathy.
Okay.
So January 19th is our next meeting.
All right.
And I will reach out though to the 2 working groups. I'm sure that you're all busy during December, but what I'll do is I'll wait until early January and I'll reach out to you, and we'll try to work on some of the projects that were discussed today.
Great. Elizabeth, you're on mute.
Do we need a motion that our meetings in 2022 will be virtual? Because we made a motion that we would go till 2021, so.
I don't believe that we need a motion for it, Elizabeth. I think that probably we are going to be virtual for a while, okay, based on the fact that we're under renovation at City Hall, number 1. Number 2 is, and we can't have a lot of people coming in and out of the council chambers because of the renovations. But number two, I think that we'd always offer both the opportunity to join us virtually as well as in person once that time comes. So I would say our January meeting will definitely be, January 19th will be virtual.
No, I was just asking because we made the motion that it would be 2021, so I just was,
Yeah, I think, I don't know or understand why we made a motion that way, but I think that it was just a conversation that the council was trying to make a decision on at the time. Now I think we're quite open to the fact that we would be trying to do both once we're able, and definitely virtually. Virtual would be available.
Yes, a motion is not required at this time.
Thank you. All right, we will get a motion to adjourn.
I can make that motion.
Okay, we've got Linda and Gigi, thank you. I wish everybody a wonderful rest of 2021. Maybe we'll see you before January. If not, have a wonderful holiday season and stay safe and healthy, and we will see you in January.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you.
Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you as well.
Everybody have a good holiday.
Thanks, bye everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye now.